Silver price is exploding higher today. We are now in new all-time high territory, and I interviewed a bullion dealer yesterday who predicted this. You have got to see this interview.
Where's the top? I don't know. I think you're going to see historic highs on both of those metals in a matter of days.
Well, what would you say is the best thing to be buying right now if someone was new and they were just getting into precious metals?
Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
What happened to all the gold, Harry? You only got 2 coins left in the showcase.
You know, even at these record prices, we can't keep it in stock, especially if it's US gold. But lately, you know, fractional, because that's what people can afford typically, is just gone once it comes in. I'm surprised that half ounce is still here from yesterday. But if we get a buffalo in, it's so gone immediately.
Really?
Yeah. And eagles, almost as fast. Yeah, people are having that fear of missing out and they're buying.
Well, I will say I saw in the news today that gold futures broke $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever. And gold spot price is up. It's up like 25 bucks right now. It's very close to $4,000 an ounce. Do you think we're going to hit 4,000 this week?
We could do it today. I mean, I've seen a swing of about $13 since I got here this morning, and another $13.80. We're at 4,000. Unless there's some major profit taking today, I think we're going there today or tomorrow.
So here's a question: if gold goes to 4,000, is silver going to 50 bucks an ounce?
Well, like there again, we're very, very close. We're less than $2 from that. So both metals could be in record territory before this week is over.
And here's the thing too, it's like we're already at $50 an ounce silver. Try to buy an ounce of silver for under $50. I mean, we right now with the little drop that silver had, we're $49.50. But I mean, look at the Eagles, look at the government rounds. They're over $50.
That's a great point, Adrian. You know, because in the physical market, we're not in the spot market. That's the paper market. We are at 50.
So we're here, guys.
Yeah,
It's here.
we're here.
So with the prices going up, does it still make sense for people to be buying gold and silver right now?
It's a speculation whether you think it's at the very top or not, because as we've said in prior videos, I had lots of people say, I'm not buying at 2,000 an ounce. I'm going to wait till it goes back down, and they're still waiting. So where's the top? I don't know. And since we started this video about 2 minutes ago, gold's gone up another $1.70.
So I had a conversation yesterday with my uncle, and he was thinking of buying some more metals because he bought one. I kind of told him, hey, look, we got some spare cash, buy some metals, and I'm sure he's glad he did. And he's looking to get into some more. And he asked me, hey, well, what do you think is going to happen with the prices of gold and silver? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. Right now, we're in uncharted territory. I mean, we're pretty much at the all-time high of silver, definitely at the all-time high of gold. If you really think back, our dollar has lost so much value that, everything else has gone up, right? So silver and gold were the only things that really haven't gone up. So I feel like we're just playing catch up. And I think we've created new bottoms for the market, and it's holding resistance very well, and we're not seeing those huge dips that we would see after a climb of like $50 to $100 like we usually would, and we just keep breaking all-time highs literally every day.
Plus, if you think back on prior historical highs, there was always something you could point at and say, well, that's why the metals are doing that. For instance, there was the Hunt brothers in 1979 trying to corner the silver market. In 2009 to 2011, you had the insurance company and bank failures. That drove the metals crazy. But what can you point to now that is immediately fixable or even over the short term that would change the dynamic of the market we're in? There's not one thing driving it, unless I'm missing something. There's just the market, doing what markets do, and right now it's going up.
It's kind of in the perfect storm too. It's like, if you look at everything that's going on in the world, I mean, like Harry said, it's not just one thing. It's not like, oh, we're just waiting to hear news, about a certain subject, but it's just so many different things all at once that it's just creating this pressure that has been built up on silver and gold for many years.
Well, and the other thing too is when silver went to $50 an ounce before, gold was like, 800 or 1500. Gold wasn't at $4,000 an ounce. So it's a whole new ball game.
Right. Gold actually has led the way this time, where, the big run up was on gold, and silver recently woke up and started to follow because, we've done videos where the ratio was 120 to 1 a couple years ago, and now we're down, around 80?
80, yeah.
And so silver is the one on the move right now. I mean, certainly gold is too, but it's closing that ratio gap. I think you're going to see historic highs on both of those metals in a matter of days. I mean, if good news broke out all over the world, I suppose that could hurt the metals market, but and I would like that, actually. I'd like good news. I live here. I'd like good news to break out, but I don't see that on the horizon.
No, I don't either.
No.
So a lot of people have been asking me, what is the best way to store your silver, whether you intend to leave it at home in your safe or if you want to travel with it. And you guys just got the stacker vaults back in stock, right, Harry?
Yeah, we got 200 in late last week, and we're already filling orders. So we've probably sold about a fourth of them right now.
Wow.
But we still have plenty in stock, and glad to say we can actually deliver.
Yeah, these are just so great because they're waterproof. They're also airtight, so it's going to help keep your silver from tarnishing. And wouldn't you say that if your silver looks pristine, it looks new, it's probably going to be easier to sell than if it's all tarnished?
Without a doubt. I mean, a typical coin shop or dealer is going to ask for what we call retail-friendly silver. We don't want it, to be tarnished in an ugly manner or banged up or otherwise damaged in some way. People want to buy the pretty one. If it's pretty one is next to the ugly one, they're going to buy the pretty one. And this will help keep them just that way.
And also, if you want to travel with your silver, you could take these on a plane. They have this little airlock here, which will open up. And so the case won't warp, it won't be damaged. And you can easily carry your silver around in these stacker vaults. So I think they're a pretty good thing to buy.
Right, and let's not forget the original reason these came to be is because there was concern about people reaching into a safe whose door was pried open just enough where you can get your hand in, maybe grab a tube or a coin, whereas if they're in there, there's a lot more prying to do to get that door open, so that would clear the door. And so it's a security issue as well as an aesthetic issue for the silver.
And another thing I like about it too, that it's compact enough that you can put it in a backpack.
Yeah, like people who are preppers, what do they call it, a go bag? Mm-hmm. If you had a backpack where you're putting your real essentials in, you don't know where you're going, what environment you'll be in, at least your metals will be protected.
Yeah, that's true.
And another thing I like is that it's American made. That's the other thing.
No complaints there.
No, no complaints.
So Harry, I am curious, with people coming in to buy gold and silver, are you seeing new stackers? Are you seeing people coming in for the first time?
Adrian, I was listening to him help someone yesterday who flat out said, I'm new at this, I don't know what to buy. And so, what happens is, like driving in this morning, I'm listening to the news on the radio, and I hear a similar report to what you were talking about, that gold had hit 4,000 in the futures market. People who are driving to work who aren't stackers hear a story like that, and they think, yeah, Joe at work, he buys gold and silver. I really should be buying that. So what happens is it gets into the lay media, the non-collector media, and people think, uh-oh, I'm missing something. And so we are meeting a lot of new people, which is awesome, but it takes a little bit of effort on their part and ours to get the knowledge to know what to buy. Because you don't want to just throw your money away. You got to have a little bit of knowledge going in as to what you want or what your goals are before you spend your hard-earned money.
Well, what would you say is the best thing to be buying right now if someone was new and they were just getting into precious metals?
The most metal for your money, and it's good advice for someone new. I've seen new people do the opposite, where they buy what I call the fancies. You got these half-ounce silver pieces in beautiful packaging from some mint from across the world, and it's got a theme that no one cares about, but it's in a pretty box. And what happens is they get very disappointed when they go to sell, versus a buffalo round, which is selling at or near spot, and you've got what you've got. You've got an ounce of silver. So avoid the fancies if you're not real familiar with what you're doing, especially if it's something you're just going to stack versus, gee, I got to have that whatever theme it is. Just buy the most silver for the money. Stick with generics. If you can, I think stick with Buffaloes because it's, again, the most popular design out there. Very easy to sell.
One thing I would say is the 100-ounce bars, they seem very attractive, but just keep in mind that if you ever come to a point where you need to sell some of your silver, it's not divisible. I mean, I guess it is divisible in a way, but just not marketably. But I would say, like Harry said, do rounds, definitely. Buffalo rounds is a great option. But if you're for the long term and you know that you're not going to have to sell your silver for a few years at least, I would say then you might consider the 100-ounce bars. But if it's something that if you're going to put some money away in silver and you think you might need it in the next few years or so, I would say then definitely go with Buffalo rounds because you can sell 5 at a time, 10 at a time, rather than having to sell your whole 100 ounces all at once.
All right, so we do have a 10-ounce silver bar here, and then we have some 1-ounce silver bars. And so my question is, if someone wanted to buy 10 of the 1 ounce or 1 of the 10, would it be the same price?
Exactly the same price. The price breaks begin with kilo bars and 100-ounce bars, the bars that are harder for us to sell.
So to Adrian's point, if I were to buy 10 of the 1-ounce bars, I could sell them 1 at a time. But if I buy 1 of the 10-ounce bars, I literally have to sell the whole chunk.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the other thing too is if you ever feel like you're going to have to trade silver for food or whatever it might be, you might rather trade a 1-ounce bar than your 10-ounce bar, because I think that's going to be a big chunk of money to spend.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer to buy my silver 1 ounce at a time. As opposed to getting the bars, though, I definitely would be buying the silver rounds. Like Harry said, those Buffalo rounds, I think those are the best thing to be stacking right now.
I do like 10-ounce bars, though. It's probably the highest increment of weight that I would recommend to someone for stacking purposes. Again, easy to sell. No dealer's going to say, oh, I don't want to take that on today. Everyone will buy a 10-ounce bar.
Yeah, that's actually a good point because it is one of our best sellers, honestly. People come in, do you have any 10-ounce bars? And more times than not, we're like, oh, we're just out, but we have some coming in, or, yep, let me get some more for you. And it's one thing that we feel like we're always restocking.
Well, I will say, when I pick up a 10-ounce silver bar, it definitely does feel nice in the hand.
It really does.
It's a good chunk.
It doesn't feel as nice as a kilo, but again, it's a lot more affordable.
Harry, one last question. In our video last week, you mentioned that it was difficult getting some types of silver from the wholesaler. And I've seen other places where people have things out of stock. Is that becoming more of the norm right now, do you think, because of demand for this new silver product?
There's definitely more patience involved. You know, we like to run the shop in a kind of a just-in-time inventory basis. We don't keep a lot of back stock, so we don't get hurt with price fluctuations. But we're finding now that to order from the big dealers, a lot of the things we like to stock, like Buffalo rounds, are at least a 1-week delay versus ship that day if you send them a wire. And so we've had to go to some local bullion dealers that are friendly to us and in a pinch, go buy a box of silver. I'm feeling like you better plan ahead a little better than maybe even I've planned, because it is going to be a little bit more of a wait than it's been in recent months.
It just seems so interesting because the refiners are backed up. They have a lot of silver, but yet at the same time, for the new silver product, it's kind of limited.
What I've heard is what they're backed up on is the things that they're going to melt and turn into, raw material. Jewelry, less than high quality rounds and bars, off quality, you might say, of eagles, things like that, stuff that's going to get melted. But for the new stuff, they're not backed up at all. In fact, I think you're going to have to wait.
Well, I'm going to keep waiting for silver to hit that all-time high, but it could be in the next couple of days. We'll see.
Could be in the next couple hours.
Yeah, I'll definitely have my eyes peeled. Hey, thank you so much, Harry.
Thank you, Silver Dragons.
Thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thank you.